Race Awakenings. Yes, today I will be ranking and showcasing every single race awakening in Blox Fruits. In total there are 6 different races and all of them have their separate awakenings. Some of the races deserve to be in the best tier while the others will be going in the lower tiers. And also make sure to watch the video till the end to fully understand this video, since I will be explaining every single race by their pros and cons and will be telling you guys which of these races really deserve to be in the best tier. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Starting off with the Angel Race, I will be ranking this in the good tier. First of all, it is very strong for healing. You guys can heal 3 to 5,000 health in the matter of seconds, which is just so broken. Secondly, it is very good for air camping. Your opponents will literally hate you for this, but if you guys just stay in the air, you will most likely win that fight. And lastly, this race has a very strong passive ability. Whoever comes near you will get stunned for a little bit, and this is very useful for stopping other people's combos. Here we have some pros and cons of the Angel Race. As I said earlier, this race is all about healing, and to be honest, healing yourself at any point you like, that is just insane. Like, if you guys think about it, that is very good. And just like I said before, it is good for sky camping as well. So yeah, this is definitely a solid race, but still I think there are a few races which are a little bit better than the Angel Race. Moving on into the Cyborg Race, I will be ranking this just below the Angel Race. The Cyborg Race is very unique and depends upon your playstyle. First of all, it is very good for farming. Whether you guys are farming levels or you guys are defeating sea beasts or the new Leviathan boss, this is actually a very strong race for that purpose. And secondly, the Cyborg Race has a very strong passive as well, which will basically cancel your opponent's combos, which is yet again very annoying for your opponents and will give you guys a big advantage over your opponents. Moving on into the pros of the Cyborg Race. This race is the best for teamers and also for cancelling combos, as I said earlier in the video. But on the other side, this race does not give you any speed or any movement buffs, which is obviously very important. So I would recommend you guys to use some speed based accessories like the pilot helmet or some others. If you guys are confused by accessories after watching this video, you guys can go watch my tier list of accessories in which I showcased and ranked every single accessories so you could choose yourself the best accessory possible. So for that reason, I will be ranking this in the good tier, but there are definitely a lot better races than this one. Next up, we have the Human Race, my personal favorite. I will be ranking this in the best tier. First of all, it has the highest damage compared to all the other races, and that is of course very strong. Secondly, the longer you fight somebody, the stronger you get. Basically, it has a rage meter, and the longer you fight, the stronger you become, essentially the more damage you do. And lastly, it has some overpowered teleports, which are very strong for fighting other people. Okay, here are some pros and cons of the Human Race. As you guys can see, it is all based on damage. If you guys want to do a lot of damage in a short period of time, then Human is the perfect race for you. But sometimes the Human Race is a little bit risky in PvP, since you guys will be at low HP for extra damage. But other than that, this is an excellent race. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I think Human is the best race in the game, but keep in mind the Human Race is very hard to use. So if you guys are not really that good at the game, I would rather go for something else. Next, we have the Rapit, also known as the Mink Race. Yeah, I'm just gonna be putting it in the usable tier. First of all, this is the fastest race in the game. You guys will be very fast and you guys can easily dodge other people's combos and moves. Secondly, it also has a dash ability, which is also very useful for dodging attacks. And lastly, you guys will have some higher energy regeneration, which is not really that strong compared to the other races. Here we have some pros and cons of the Rapit Race. It is all based on speed. It doesn't really give you a good buff other than speed, but I would definitely want to have a lot more buffs than just only speed. So for that reason, I will be ranking it in the usable tier. Moving on into the Ghoul Race, and this is another best tier race. First of all, this race is based on Life Leech. damage. The more damage you do to others, the more health you will gain yourself. Secondly, the Ghoul Race has a very strong passive which will give you reduced cooldown, more damage and more defense, which is obviously very strong. And lastly, whenever there is nighttime, you guys will be a little bit faster than usual and you guys will have a little bit more reduced cooldown, which is obviously very strong. So yeah, for that reason I will be ranking this in the best tier. And if you guys pair this up with the new fighting style, the Sanguine Art, you guys will be doing a lot of damage and also will be healing a lot of damage. Here we have some pros and cons of the Ghoul Race. This is actually quite a balanced race. It gives you speed, defense, damage, and also gives you some life leech, which is obviously a healing ability. So it's like a mixture of all the races and it is a overpowered race. So for that reason I will be ranking the Ghoul Race in the best tier. And lastly we have the Shark Race. I will be ranking this in the best tier as well, and I will be ranking this a little bit above the Ghoul Race. First of all, this race is very good for tanking damage. With its ability you can basically tank any combo in the game, and that is just insanely OP. Secondly, it is very good for farming, and especially farming sea beasts and all the other sea events, because you guys will not be able to drown in the water. You guys can swim even if you have a devil fruit, which is obviously very strong. Here are some pros and cons of the Shark Race. Feel free to pause the video and read this, but basically this race is all based on damage reduction. Don't get me wrong, this is one of the best races in the game, but it doesn't give you a speed boost. So you guys would have to use some speed accessories, since you know speed is very useful for fighting other people, and if you guys are slow, you will most likely lose the fight. So with that being said, yes, this is one of the strongest races, but it still has some weaknesses. So yeah, for that reason I will be ranking the Shark Race in the best tier. Since now the tier list is complete, I would like to mention something. Races in Blox Fruits are totally based on playstyle. If you guys want to do a lot of damage, you guys should use the Human Race. If you want to tank a lot of damage, you should use Shark. If you want to heal a lot of health, you should use Angel. If you want to be fast, you should use Mink. If you want to farm, you should use Cyborg. If you want a very good balanced race, use Ghoul. So yeah, all of these races depend upon your playstyle, so choose whatever you like or whatever you need and then use that race. So yeah, I tried to explain it as best as I could. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. My goal is to hit 50,000 subscribers, so that would be greatly appreciated if you guys subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.